Welcome again to Unitest Simulator using the Virtual Engine Room 7 camshaft control simulator. Our next checklist is Vankerot DW or domestic water.
Domestic water system intake valve should be open.
So when you press that checklist, you will be redirected into the phase of this fresh water or domestic water tank. So it is under the compressed air system. So if we go to this phase, compressed air, you will be directed here, compressed air control panel, compressed air diagram, and domestic water diagram. So the first task is to domestic water system intake valve should be open. So we need to open this valve.
Domestic water tank number 1 refilling valve should be open.
And this valve.
Wait until domestic water tank number 1 is almost full.
For the water, it's not really very dangerous, but it's also a good practice that when you are filling or transferring anything, is to look for the level. It is also because that when you overfill this water tank, it will go into your build well, which is also not a good practice.
Domestic water tank number 2 refilling valve should. Domestic water tank number 1 refilling valve should be. Wait until domestic water tank number 2 is almost full.
You see what I do is when the domestic water tank number 1 is almost full, I open the valve for domestic water tank number 2 before I close the inlet of domestic water tank number 1. That should be the practice.
Domestic water tank number 2 refilling valve should be closed. Domestic water system intake valve should be closed. OK. Now, press close checklist button to close the checklist window.
Okay, now we have completed the domestic water tank. Going back on the checklist, we'll close this checklist.
You can start the next checklist right now.
Let us review the checklist. So the nothing is available. So we have here the MDO. We are able to do this, and HFO, LSFO, LO, CO, and DO. The objective is, especially the newbie, is to learn how to refill these tanks or to fill up this tank. Let us check if so. Fuel supply. So we have the MDO now. We have the HFO. We have the LSFO. Lubricating oil. We have main engine lube oil. Diesel generator. We have the cylinder oil. And then the domestic water, compressed air, so we have domestic water. So we have completed the checklist 0 or nothing available because there is already available MDO, HFO, LSFO, lube oil, cylinder oil, and domestic water.